Welcome to the Raven Space YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Raven Space Daily, where we talk about the Baltimore Ravens every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have 3 great news stories, but before we hop in, please remember to subscribe and share this video. Comment on every single topic as you guys see fit. And so we'll hop right in. First news story of the day is one that's been circling around the NFL, and is that Ladarius Webb is re-signing to the Baltimore Ravens. The good thing is that we have a veteran of the system who knows the system, who can sub in, who can teach guys the system. He comes with that leadership aspect that you always need for your team, and we're very happy about that. Also, he's coming in much cheaper, but we'll talk about his contract a little bit later. But I do have one concern, and it's that it kind of feels like the Ravens are pursuing a weakness they had so much that it kind of feels like they're forgetting about the other side of the team. For example, the biggest offensive acquisition was Danny Woodhead, right? Danny Woodhead is a second string running back in most offenses, right? So, it's kind of concerning. I'll give you guys an example. So, when something bad happens, right? Bad things happen to all of us. I hope it doesn't happen to you as much as it happens to me, but things happen. And you're driving in a car and you get a flat, but then you don't have any flat in your trunk. You don't have a tire in your trunk to help it, to fix it, right? So you gotta call somebody and different things like that. And then the next time you're driving, after you get everything, good, and then your friend says, you should get 2 tires, right? But in reality, you only need 1. And so this is what it feels like the Ravens are doing. We had a bad pass defense down the stretch against good quarterbacks. Feels like we're overcompensating. Darius Webb's a good player, but again, when is he going to get in the game? He's going to be a third safety and the 4th corner in certain sets. And he won't be very good at that nickel spot because he used to be at the nickel spot and then we moved him to safety. So it's a little concerning. But again, the Ravens got a great deal. So I can see for the deal that you bring him in and just have him as insurance. It's a 3-year deal with a maximum value of 10.5. Again, it's when I say maximum value, that means with bonuses and incentives, he can get up to 10.5, which means it looks like to me that he might be making 2.5, $3 million a year, which is a great steal for the Ravens. Ozzie, he still has it. Again, this is a great deal for the Ravens, but I don't think it's the best deal when we could have did something and addressed the receiver need or something like that. Let me know how you feel about it. I'm happy to have him back. I love Webb. He played great at safety last year. Pro Football Focus has him as the 15th best safety in the league last year. But again, it kind of feels like a little bit of overkill to this point, and we still haven't addressed our offensive needs like we really need to. And the next story of the day is that the Ravens have released their preseason schedule. And again, I don't take a lot of stock into the preseason. However, it is nice to see, who we're going to play. So the 4 teams we have in the preseason this year are the Dolphins, the Redskins, the Bills, and the Saints. And that's a, decent schedule. We always play the Redskins. And, I'm not really too worried about that. So we will have the Redskins at M&T Bank Stadium. We're going to go to Miami. We're going to have the Bills at M&T Bank Stadium. And we're going to go to New Orleans. And the Ravens love going to New Orleans. It's, of course, where we won our last Super Bowl. You can't really glean anything from this. The best situation for our preseason game would be to have our 3rd preseason game against a pass-heavy team. So, for example, if we play the Saints in week 3, we can, test out our new defense, right? A little bit better. But that won't be the case. So again, Redskins week 1, Dolphins week 2, Bills week 3, and week 4 the Saints. And we'll get a feel about how good our team is in that week 3 game. Last 2 years, if you watch the preseason games, which I did every single second of it, you can see that our team wasn't put together right, and you can tell that our offense is a little bit lacking. So hopefully these preseason games will give us some more insight. Again, I'll be with you the whole entire way. I'll be treating these like, regular season games and the way I cover them and different things like that. So we'll see. Let me know if you're excited for preseason schedule. I'm really not, but any football is good football. So, and then the last news story of the day comes from ESPN. Jamison Hensley gives his biggest need for the Baltimore Ravens in the draft, and he states pass rusher. And if you guys know Jameson Hensley, he's a very smart guy. He's been working at ESPN for a while. He's good at covering the Ravens. I, listen to him, different things like that. However, I cannot disagree more. It's kind of this thing that happens with the Ravens is that everyone forgets about how bad the Ravens offense was, except for Ravens fans. And so it's no way that you can look at our defense, look at our offense, and say that we need to address defense in the draft. We've already addressed defense in free agency. Let's address the offense in the draft. It's a weak offensive tackle draft, but offensive tackle is our biggest need, right? There's no way you can look at our offensive line and not think to get an offensive lineman. We don't have a center right now. We don't have a right tackle right now. And we barely have a left guard. Alex Lewis is injured. Unless we're going to, roll out 3 people, and, Vladimir Dukas again, we got to address that issue. And one way we're going to do it, I believe, is sign a center like Nick Mangold and then draft the tackle and then hope Alex Lewis can play guard again. But, we don't know. That has to be the biggest need. Now, again, it's a weak draft for offensive line. So after that, the second biggest need is wide receiver. We need a playmaker. Ravens need a playmaker. There's no way you can look at our offense last year and not think that we need an offensive weapon. There's 3 great receivers in the draft between Mike Williams, John Ross, and Corey Davis. Depending on what you like, you'll like a different mix. If you like speedy receivers that have that big play potential, of course you're going to go John Ross, right? If you like the big, strong receivers who, gets to the very top of their jump and catches the ball, you're going to like Mike Williams. And if you like route running receivers who are pro ready, you're going to, of course, like Corey Davis. Now, I'm a guy who likes either a bigger receiver or a route runner. In this case, I would take Mike Williams. It feels like that's what the Ravens want. Not saying Corey Davis can't do the things Mike Williams can, but they're a little different now. We'll see. And I also think Corey Davis will be off the board when a Ravens pick. I think most NFL teams like him. I think NFL teams don't really like John Ross, but he's fast, and when you're fast, you make headlines, and people like headlines, right? So, but I think Mike Williams will be there for us. And I think that's what we'll pick. But again, to say that pass rusher is our biggest need when our offense was terrible last season, we got worse on the offensive line, and arguably we got worse because we don't have Steve Smith at receiver. There's no way that you can say pass rush is our biggest need. Again, it has to be offensive line or receiver. You guys let me know what you think the Ravens' biggest need is in the comments below. And that is it for today. That is all the news stories that we have. Thank you guys so much for sticking to me to the very end. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to build something here for our Baltimore Ravens fans. So again, please subscribe and like and share. And please comment, because I love talking to you guys in the comments as well. Thank you guys so much. If you like the video, please subscribe. Every subscriber helps us. Also, if you want to watch more videos from the Raven Space, you can click on the box. We have different highlight videos, and we also have more Baltimore Ravens dailies and fan talks where we talk to a fan just like you. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.